So today we have the HKS Intake for the GR86. We got this air shipped in from our friends over at HKS USA from the Japan facility. So this is literally next day air parts from Japan. So we're gonna be installing this on our GR86. We've already prepped the bumper and pulled it off so we can kind of show you like what's going on here with the stock intake for those of you who don't know. This intake replaces all this, plus this all the way up to the throttle body itself. The install does require you to remove the front bumper, and it's got quite a few components. It's a very extensive intake system. It's really worth it though. It's pretty awesome. Let's check it out. So guys, this did come in this super large box. We've already taken all the components out, so let me go over and show them to you. But this is an abnormally large box for an air intake system. But it's very complete. This is as I said, this is the full kit. This is sold two different ways. So here we go. Let's get this over here. We've laid a lot of the components out for you guys so you guys can check them out. So this is gonna be your main air intake chamber, and it has an actual really cool lid with a sticker kit to kind of have a little decoration there. That's super cool. We got a bunch of clamps. We got some carbon pieces. We have an elbow that's gonna go into the stock throttle body. We have the famous mushroom style filter from HKS. And we have two methods that's bringing cold air into this, as I mentioned earlier. So we got this, which is gonna bring air in from the right-hand side, and then we have this, which is gonna replace the factory piece, and it's gonna force cold air straight into it. So we've already assembled this. This does not come like this, but this is to have less disruption, and this is why the bolts come through this way. And this will mount onto a factory bracket and bolt right in place. Pretty cool. All right, guys, so if you've never installed an air intake on any of the 86 platforms, the FRS, BRZ, or the new GR86, it does require to remove the front bumper on this car for this particular intake system. I'm gonna guesstimate that this is gonna take about an hour and a half to do a full install on this. This one is one of the more intricate pieces. Some of the other ones that we've done in the previous videos are quite simple compared to this one, but this is gonna be the most sophisticated and bring the most cold air into this actual box here. So this is the difference. This is the AT010 and this is the AT12, which is what we have here. This is really important. I just want to bring this out to your guys' attention. This is actually offset. So this is the side, the shorter side is going to go towards the throttle body. So we're doing this right here. So it's going to have an HKS coupler here. This piece is shorter side to the throttle body, and that's going to go back in for the PCV. And then we're going to put the coupler here, and it does use the factory box, kind of like a chamber that's going to kind of get rid of some resonation and stuff like that. And then we're going to put this piece in right here that's going to adapt to your sensor itself. So guys, this is the elbow that I talked to you guys about. So it's going to go in like this. We got to get our clamp in here, which I just get that on. And then we got to get the other piece. This is going to go in just like this. I can tell because of this flange here. So that's going to go like this. So let's get some clamps on this and let's get this in the car. And there's going to be a particular way you need to install this because you want this to be away from the belts itself. So there's a correct orientation, so you want to make sure you be really careful on that. We'll show you guys how that ends up. You want to drop this in, and you want to get this part to clear here, and then you can swing this down and around. See if I can do it good. And this is going to come in right under here just like that. So then you put your two bolts in here, and then we'll get our tube in. We want to do that before so we can put the filter on. It's just a lot easier. So that's the secret to kind of get this in. It won't really come in from the side, so you got to just do a little rotation right here, just like that. And so what you're doing is this air is just coming right in through here. All right, guys, so we're mid-install. We got the front ram installed. We have the side duct installed. So as you can see that this will bring air straight into this box here, as well as this one comes in and around here. To install this, we loosen this up just to get a better install, a little easier for us. Now we're gonna talk about the tube, and we're gonna install this like we showed you guys a little bit earlier. The mushroom filter is gonna go here, the lid is gonna go over top, and this thing's gonna be all set for you guys to listen to in just a couple seconds. One more thing I wanna touch on real quick. There's a bracket that installs here and comes in and around, and it's just tedious, like lining this part up and getting the bolt and nut behind here and everything. And it really doesn't do a lot of support, but I definitely recommend installing it. You know, HKS actually, they're just very thorough. They're really like an OEM manufacturer. Everything just is fit, finish. The way they do their molding, it's just really clean. The way they have these nut inserts in here, it's just a quality part, and I highly recommend all HKS products. I've used them on tons of my cars. The Supras, we use them on this car. It's just, the stuff just fits really, really good. So I just want to touch base on this bracket and the importance of it. And yeah, so make sure you pay attention to that little detail. As I was just talking about the attention to details and part of why this bracket exists, this actually goes inside here to kind of redirect and flow the air so there's no disturbance in it. So this is going to go in right here just like this. And then it's pushed all the way in, and it just creates that ramp so the air just kind of comes through and comes up and around that curve. So this will set like perfectly flat like this. There we go. And that just kind of like, that's the reason for this bracket, to kind of like add this extra weight on this. And it's bringing, really, like I said, it's already bringing the air in and pulling it up. So it's just more centered and stuff like that. So it's not hitting any rough edges. So this is going to come through just like this, as you guys can see. We're going to orientate this HKS logo perfectly on the front side. So we're going to do like just like that, so it looks proper. And then we're going to finish this right here. All right, guys, so we finished up the install. I do want to point out that we have modified, there's a special switch in the instructions, the Alpharex headlights. So we did switch these so they're actually orange now, which is super cool. They match our side markers. So I'll put a link to that video. These lights are really, really nice. So the HKS install is all finished. In the instructions, they actually make you take this on and off for test fitment if you actually translate how it is. So in the video, I kind of talked about this, and then it was off, and then it was back on. And a lot of it has to do with the fitment and making sure that we actually get it right the first time. So that bracket that I showed you guys is in there. This thing is really solid and secure. So let's start this thing up, and you guys can hear the air just sucking right in here. All right, guys, so we're gonna start this up. So you guys can actually hear the air just sucking in here. Give it some revs. You guys can just hear it. It's sucking a lot of air. I'm gonna bet if you tune a car on the Ecutech with this, you can actually get a lot of power from this intake. So guys, stay tuned, and thanks a lot, and subscribe.